time I take my hand, if I slip, if I fall, won't you help me stand? Help the brothers who might
Peace and blessings, my beloved. Peace and blessings. Shalom, shalom, by the grace and mercy of the Almighty Father, Creator of the universe and the Captain of our salvation. This message is not only for the people of my nation, but for all the other nations as well, because eventually we all shall have to learn the truth. Like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, one of my favorite precepts, there is nothing new under the sun. Everything that's being done in this 21st century has already been done in ancient times, over 4,000 years ago, over 5,000 years ago, like it states in Romans chapter 1:25, who changed the truth of the Almighty Father Creator into a lie. Today we will be dealing with this thing called atheism, which comes from the etymology term Athens, which goes back to the term Attic. But the question is, what is the true origin of this thing they call atheism here today? It goes back to the ancient Babylonian Empire. It's nothing but a replication, a duplicated, watered-down version of Nimrod's mindset, disguised under the term atheism, Buddhism, Shintoism, the New Age, so on, etc. Which satanic wicked Nimrod learned a lot of his wickedness from Cain, that's recorded in the book of Genesis chapter 4 verse 6. Okay, Nimrod, that's recorded in the book of Genesis chapter 10 verse 8. This thing we call atheism today is nothing but a Xerox copycat, bootleg, watered down version of the mindset of wicked satanic Nimrod, who was a real satanic, wicked, evil, ancient Babylonian king, which goes all the way back to worshiping the satanic demon world. We're reading from the scrolls of Josephus, chapter 4, verse 2, which describes the mindset of ancient Nimrod, which he once executed on this earth. And this is who you so-called atheists are following. This is who you're looking up to. And Nimrod was nothing but a vessel, okay, of the demonic satanic forces, which many will deny. Now it was Nimrod who excited them to such a affront. Remember, nothing is new under the sun. Now it was Nimrod who excited them to such a affront and contempt of the Almighty Father, meaning to oppose and disrespect the Almighty Father, such as they're saying here today that there's no greater power than man. This is where your concept is coming from, in part. He was the grandson of Ham and the son of Noah, meaning Ham, okay, was one of the sons of Noah, a whole man and of great strength of hand, because Nimrod was a warrior and he used to kill certain wild beasts to defend the people, but he had a scheme, he had an agenda. This is the witchcraft warlock, okay, false understanding that satanic Nimrod seduced the people, brainwashed the people to submit and surrender and to uphold this evil concept, which today you call atheism. He persuaded them at the Tower of Babel in ancient time, which is in the region today known as modernized Iraq. He persuaded them, even the Israelites that was down at the Tower of Babel as well, and the other nations, not to ascribe it to the Creator. In other words, he taught, okay, the ancient Egyptians ancestors to respect the Creator of the universe. He taught the ancient Assyrian ancestors not to respect the Creator of the universe. He taught, okay, the Persians, ancient ancestors, who name eventually transform into East Indians, and many other men and women, to respect the Creator of the universe under no circumstances, in no shape, form, or fashion. This is where your atheist concept is coming from. He was a very wicked, evil, satanic king. He was a pedophile. He was a witch. He was a warlock. And his wicked woman mother, who was known by the name of Semiramis. Okay? He taught the people to burn their babies up alive, to perform human sacrifices. He was a mass murderer. There was nothing good about Nimrod. and he told the people to rebel against the creator of the universe, which the name Nimrod means to rebel. So he persuaded them not to ascribe, to respect it to the creator, as if it was through his means that they were happy. In other words, he taught them to look up to him, to bow down to him, to worship him as the creator of the universe. But to believe that it was their own courage which procured that happiness. In other words, it was by your own power that you're responsible for waking yourself up here this morning. It's by your own power and might that you brought yourself into existence. It's by your own power and might that caused the rain to come out of the sky. He also gradually changed the government into tyranny because he was a wicked, satanic, evil king. This is who you're following. Seeing no other way of turning men from the fear, meaning to respect the Almighty Father Creator, but to bring them into a constant dependence upon his power. Does that sound familiar? In what they classify as the writings of Abraham from the papyri found in Egypt in 1831. And it states this on page 2 of 32. Verse 3, it said, moreover, Nimrod, he was a man of mighty power, and he was master Mahan, and had in his hand the secret of the ancients, as they had come down from Cain. You see, that's where Nimrod got his concept from. Nimrod learned his evil, wicked, evil practices from satanic Cain, coming from the two Babylons, Nimrodism. It states this concerning Nimrod's satanic, ancient, wicked, satanic agenda, which he brainwashed the people in ancient times, to uphold and to execute, and to fight against the Almighty Father. The principles of Nimrodism. The laws of God are a curse for mankind. This is the same thing that Anton LaVey did. He used reverse psychology. The laws of goodness are not the faith. When Anton LaVey wrote the Bible of Satan, this is who they were following. Alex Crowley as well. Maxwell Jordan as well. Helena Blavatsky from the 1800s was nothing but a watered-down, bootleg, replicated Xerox copycat version of satanic Nimrod. And this is what you so-called atheists are imitating. It was Nimrod who taught that it was no longer necessarily to follow any laws of goodness or to do any good deeds under such circumstances. The world must, of necessity, become place for doing only wicked and evil deeds. Yes, Nimrod. Nimrod influence has been resurrected in the earth once again under the concept called atheism and many more. It's about deceiving people. It's about misleading people's souls. It's about turning the people away from the creator of the universe. It's about denying the creator of the universe existence, just like Nimrod did. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. There is nothing new under the sun. The Babylonians, accordingly to Berosus, a priest of Bel at Babylon, 250 BC, he believed that the god Bel cut off his own head. This is the concept of Babylon. And that the other gods collected his blood and mixing with the earth made men out of the paste. That's a Xerox copy from this book called Christianity, which there's no such thing, which that's just a tool to deceive people before Christ, which is a false title of who the King of Kings is. There was a brother by the name of Ignatius Theoporus. He was the third bishop. And he wrote to brothers who went by the name of the Trillians, who once dwelled in Turkey, once known as Asia Minor, which these scrolls were also suppressed during the time of the so-called Nice Council. Our brother Ignatius Theoporus, who was the third bishop, of Asia Minor, he wrote this letter to the brothers who went under the name of Trillians, Okay, this information came from what they call the Lost Book of the Bible, chapter 2, which we're facing this same crisis here today. It's about deceiving the soul to turn away from the Almighty Father Creator, to set the people up for the same judgment that came upon the ancient kingdoms of old, or rather, a more critical, severe judgment. Okay, though it be told, many will not believe. Saint Ignatius Theophorus, he states this. He advises us to flee, therefore, okay, these evil sprouts, which bring forth deadly fruit, of which, if anyone tastes, he shall presently die. And what is this deadly fruit? These lies, okay, all this deception, such as plagiarization, these lies of atheism, which is nothing but a setup to make the people, okay, bring horrific judgment upon their heads, just like Nimrod, the Babylonian, the Egyptian Empire, okay, the Persian Empire, and the Assyrian Empire. They all ran with the same evil game. That's why the Most High clapped down and smacked down and beat down and ripped down and tore down their evil satanic kingdom. And here we go again. Saint Ignatius Theophorus, the third bishop, okay, who was an honorable brother, he also forewarns us to be not deceived with strange doctrines, okay, nor with old fables. These are old fables. The so-called concept of atheism is nothing but a bootleg version of Nimrodism. The so-called concept of the New Age movement is nothing but a watered-down bootleg version of Nimrodism, Shintoism, Buddhism. All these different isms is nothing but a replicated, boot-down, watered-down version of ancient satanic Nimrod's mindset. Be not deceived with strange doctrine, and these are strange doctrines, nor with old fables. And when you look at the concept of Babylon, the Assyrian Empire, the Persian Empire, the Egyptian Empire, even the Israelites, they fell inside this same booby trap, this big fat bear trap, which caused a lot of Hebrew Israelite kings to get destroyed because of their disobedience. Be not deceived with strange doctrine, nor with old fables. In other words, lies, deception, mythology, such as the concept of some atheists. They say that there's no good or evil, just consequences. That's foolishness. Because, for an example, having sex with a newborn baby, that's evil. Burning up your sons and daughters up alive to worship some satanic ancient god idol that they call Baal, which Jeremiah chapter 19 verse 5 records is wicked and satanic and evil. Putting a dinner plate inside your lip and stretching your lips out like it's a rubber band or like it's some super elastic bubble plastic is evil and painful, just like this picture is demonstrating to us here today. Carving up your body is evil. These tattoos are evil. Stretching your earlobes out like it's some type of big fat rubber band, like this picture, okay, is illustrating, which some of the Africans, okay, indulge into, is evil, wicked, and very painful, which many of this 21st century has adopted this same, okay, earlobe stretching, painful practice and called it a style here today. Like it says in Revelation 16 verse 14, for they are spirits of devils. This is the spirit of evil. Now in this 21st century, like it says in Romans chapter 125, who changed the truth into a lie? They have changed the truth into a lie by continuing the same evil order of Nimrod disguised under the term atheism and many more. But like it states in the book of Proverbs chapter 12 verse 20, deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil. You see? To deceive the people that this is something new. No, the true meaning of atheism, which they're giving the people a watered down bootleg version of what atheism is really about. Okay, Nimrod was one of the first atheists. Okay, which the Assyrian Empire carried the same torch. Which eventually the Egyptian Empire, okay, they got defiled by the same wickedness as well. As well as some of the Israelite kings, they got defiled by this same evil satanic order. What's the true meaning of the concept, which they didn't call atheists in ancient time, they called it something totally different, but the true meaning, the true definition, which they're trying to give the people a Renaissance, watered down, bootleg version of what atheism is really about. The true meaning of atheism in the ancient world was dealing with killing your newborn baby, to worship and pay homage to a stupid idol, which in ancient time they used to classify to be a god, a hunk of clay shaped in the fashion of a man, or rather half man and half animal. The true meaning of atheism in the ancient world was that you had to have sex with a four-footed beast animals, just like those giants in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 128, which was known as the Anakims, the Nephilims. Just like Genesis chapter 6 and 4 states how there were giants in the earth, and these giants in ancient times used to have sex with four-footed animals, and they found these giant bones in India and different parts of Europe. Just like it states in the book of the giants, which this information was extracted from ancient tablets recording concerning the evil things that the ancient nations were doing, who was against the Almighty Father, Creator, which today they call atheism. So it states this, okay, concerning those evil satanic giants in the tablets recordings. It says they killed man. This is the true concept of atheism. This is the true belief systems of the ancient atheists. They begot giants. Let us continue. 100 angels. Now these are not angels. These are these satanic giants. They chose animals on which to perform unnatural acts. In other words, having sex with a horsey. In other words, having sex with a donkey. In other words, having sex with a gorilla. In other words, having sex, okay, with birds and many other things that we're not supposed to do. That's why Leviticus chapter 20, verse 15 stated, that's why the Most High instituted this code. If a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, because that's wickedness to the highest degree. Okay? They perform unnatural acts, including, okay, presumably humans. I'll let you figure that out. Man with man equals 0. Man with woman equals a plus. The tablets of the giants continue stating this. It says the outcome of the demonic corruption was violence and perversion. Not only were they humping on these four-footed beast animals, but these animals became impregnated. That's why it says in Genesis chapter 6 verse 5, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, as it still remains here today, and that every imagination or thought of his heart was only evil continuously. 6th verse, and it repented the Creator that he had made man on the earth, and woman was involved as well. Let us continue. And it grieved the Creator, him, at his heart. In other words, the Almighty Father, okay, he regretted creating that generation of man and woman in ancient time, during the time of Noah's time. And this is how you know that this is true. Because all those ancient empires, whether the Sumer kingdom, the Babylonian kingdom, or during the time of Cain, okay, or rather the Assyrian empire, which was very wicked, or rather the Persian empire, or the Greek empire. These empires did not fall because of holiness and righteousness. They fell because they was indulging into some real atheist supreme wickedness. Like it says in Genesis chapter 6 verse 7. And the Almighty Father said, I will destroy man like the ancient man, like Nimrod, like the Babylonian empire in ancient time, like the Samaritans, women and men in ancient times. And the Most High said, I will destroy man like these satanic evil giants, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, because they were having sex with these beasts, and the creeping things and the fowl of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Like it states in the book of, or rather the scrolls of Joshua, chapter 35, verse 28, which the book of Joshua speaks about. Joshua chapter 10 verse 13, which states, is not this written in the book of Joshua? There was a man by the name of Anah, verse 28. chapter 35, from the scrolls of Jasher, who is the descendant of the Edomites. It says, Anah, who was found in Yemen, in the wilderness, when he fed the asses of Zibeon, his father. And it states this about Anah, while he was in the wilderness, feeding the asses, the donkey. Verse 31. It says, afterwards, about 120 great and terrible animals came out from the wilderness at the other side of the sea. And they all came to the place where the asses were, and they placed themselves there. Let us continue. At verse 32. And those animals, from their middle down, were in the shape of the children of men. So at the middle of their body, they had the shape of children of men. And from the middle upward, some had the likeness of bears, and some the likeness of kephas, with tails behind them. You see, this goes back to Genesis, the 6th chapter. Half man and half beast, because the giants was having sex with the four-footed beast and impregnating the beast, which brought forth these abomination creatures, which the Most High destroyed during the time of the flood. And this is where your atheism concept is coming from, in part pertaining to the true belief system of the ancient atheism. That's why in the book of Jasher, chapter 5, verse 7, and we're repeating the same mistakes all over again. This is what the Almighty Father told Brother Noah to say to the people in ancient times. Speak ye and proclaim to the sons of men, saying, Thus saith the Creator, return from your evil ways and forsake your works, and the Almighty Father will repent of the evil that he declared to do to you, as it still remains here today, so that it shall not come to pass. 8th verse, for thus saith the Creator, behold, I will give you a period of 120 years, if you will turn to me and forsake your evil ways. Then will I also turn away from the evil which I told you, and it shall not exist, saith the Creator. So the Almighty Father gave them 120 years. He had Noah speak to those evil people back there in ancient times. 120 years, which is over a century, because a century is 100 years. And our brother Noah, he told them to repent. Stop committing fornication. Stop committing adultery. Stop sacrificing, killing your newborn babies. But they took it to a higher level of wickedness when they began to plant their seed inside the four-footed beast until the four-footed female beast got pregnant. And they said the same thing that they told the prophet Jeremiah in his time, Jeremiah 44:16, which states this, which they pretty much still saying the same thing in this 21st century. As for the words that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Creator, we will not hearken unto thee. 17th verse. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. Just like among some of the Tibetan statues, idols, they have illustrated idols of a woman, having sex with a male bull. So just like a sign was shown to the past king of so-called Mexico by the name of Montezuma, the creator of the universe has just given us another sign to repent and change our wicked ways and stop being high-minded and stop making up all these folklore and these evil fairy tales and these mythologies and giving people the wrong understanding and the wrong interpretation for us that's really seeking truth. You see, such as the tornado that touched down in Texas that lift up this 16-wheeler and toss it all over the place like it was a piece of paper or some rag doll. Atheism ain't no different than fake Christianity. It's just another tool to mislead the people astray from the creator of the universe, to psych the people out just like Nimrod did, to make the people oppose the Almighty Father, the creator of the universe, just like they did during the time of Noah time, whether people want to believe it or not, because all those kingdoms was body slammed for the same things they're doing today in this 21st century here today. Just like the Mayans' empire fell. Just like before Montezuma, the past so-called Mexican king, empire was crushed. Okay, before the arrival of the Spaniards in central Mexico. Ominous signs appeared that many Native Americans interpreted as a foretelling of impending doom. Just like the intensifying floods. Just like Luke chapter 21:25 states, there shall be signs. Just like Montezuma, who was one of the last kings of the so-called Mexican brothers and sisters, before their empire was crushed. Like it states right here. Before the arrival of the Spanish in central Mexico, ominous signs appeared that many Native Americans interpreted as a foretelling of impending doom. Just like the solar flares are a sign. Just like the intensities of the tornadoes is a sign. Hurricanes, tornadoes, lifting a 18-wheeler that weighs thousands and thousands of pounds up like it's some type of toy or some type of paper bag is a sign. Impending doom. The first of these was a comet. The Almighty Father sent a comet sign to Montezuma before he crushed their empire because of the evil things they were doing, human sacrifices, just like the ancient Canaanites. So the Most High sent a comet or a smoking star that the Aztec Emperor Montezuma, he observed from the roof of his royal palace.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, it gets lonely, don't you know? Speculating what's awaiting for you down the road.
Montezuma, our past brother, and the so-called Aztecs, eventually the empire was crushed and destroyed by the Spaniards. The same way the Canaanites, the Babylonians, the Samaritans, the Assyrians, okay, the Egyptians, and the Greeks, all their empire was destroyed for the reason of opposing the creator of the universe. Because somebody created this universe, whether people want to believe it or not. Okay, and it wasn't created by no Darwin, false philosophy, some folklore fairy tale. Who Darwin was nothing but a watered down version of Nimrod. He was following the same path of Nimrod, opposing the creator, just like Stephen Hawkins. They're following the same path of Nimrod, just like Ozzy Osbourne. He follows the same path of Nimrod, just like Merlin Manson. He's following the same path of Nimrod, just like Gene Simmons from the past group called KISS. Okay, where he used to act as if he had some type of blood on his tongue. I don't know if that's real blood, but it wouldn't surprise me. He was following the same codes of evil Nimrod.
If I slip, if I fall, won't you help me stand? Help the brothers who might be hiding fears, fighting tears out here just like me. Oh Lord, oh Lord, it gets lonely, don't you know? Speculating what's awaiting for you down the road. So when I speak, I say a prayer for the brothers and the others who might not get back.